on the road to recovery in Castle Rock, Colorado. Live from Millville, New Jersey, I'm on the road to recovery. We're on the road to recovery in Morgantown, West Virginia at Mountaineer Field. And live in Scranton, Pennsylvania, I'm on the road to recovery. Here I am on the road to recovery from Berlin, Maryland. Hey, from Caseville, Michigan, I'm on the road to recovery. I'm on the road to recovery at Ann Arbor, University of Michigan. Well, what can I say? Louisville, Kentucky, James Sweasy. Real quick, and I'm glad that he's in my life on Recovery Radio, making such a difference in the lives of others. What a story, a crazy story, but a charismatic character. That's James Sweasy, and I'm so glad I'm able to share his story with you.
My addiction started in high school with smoking marijuana, drinking alcohol at parties, but as the real hardcore addiction didn't start until after that. I always had those isms as a kid. I always felt different. I feel like I didn't fit in socially, but it wasn't until I was about 20 or 21 years old that I was drinking extremely heavily, daily cocaine use, and I was in an auto accident that I started the opiates. And once I got into the opiates, I absolutely could not stop. When I got into opiates, about 22 years old, I was in an auto accident, and I'd been partying and drinking up until then, but I was in an auto accident. My face went through the windshield, and I was ejected from the truck, and that started the flow of pain pills. I had the proper paperwork, the MRIs, all of the documentation to walk into a pain clinic and get pretty much what I wanted. And I would take one in the morning, and that would last all day. But eventually it would become 1 in the morning, and then if I wanted to go out somewhere at night, I would take 1 at night. And then 1 in the morning, and I would start getting tired or not feeling right at lunchtime. So it was 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 at night. Then 2, 2, and 2, all the way up to 10, 10, and 10, 30, 40 painkillers. Once we tried the geographical cure, get me out of my current city, Louisville, Kentucky, and I went down to stay with my father in Tampa, Florida. And that's when I was introduced to the pill mills, and the progression would go higher. Before I went to the healing place, I got on heroin. And the reason I was on heroin, I went to a place in Costa Rica and took a medication, or whatever you want to call it, called ibogaine. And this was supposed to be the miracle pill, the magic drug, $5,000 for one dose. And you're supposed to go take it and walk completely off of it. And, the cure is the way it was pitched to me. So I flew down to Costa Rica and took this medication. And because the Suboxone had still been in my system some 30 days before that, that stuff bounced right off of me. It didn't work. And they suggested at this place that I go back to my hometown and find a sympathetic doctor that would allow me to be on painkillers or methadone for 90 days or so until I could get the Suboxone out of my system, and then I could go back down and use the ibogaine again. So I went back home. There's no sympathetic doctor at this point. I didn't even want to put in that effort. Heroin was cheaper and much easier to get, much more effective than for what I wanted. So I went back and I started staying at one of those little weekly pay hotels. I stayed in there. I sold some property I had, and I had a decent amount of money. And I got up to a gram a day heroin habit. That's snorting it, shooting it, whatever. And with plans to go back down to Central America in Costa Rica and take this medication so I could get the cure and come off of it. So I traveled after a certain amount of time of being on heroin. I finally flew back down to Costa Rica. I go in, I take this ibogaine, and it kept me up all night. My ears are buzzing and ringing and knocked your equilibrium off. But I did pull out of it the next day. I'm sitting in this place, and they walk in the room, been up all night, and they said, "How do you feel?" And I was like, "I don't know." And they said, "Well, do you feel withdrawal pains right now?" And I said, "No, I don't. I don't think so." And they said, "Do you feel normal?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know. I don't know what normal feels like, but I don't feel withdrawal pains right now." So I thought I was absolutely cured. I walked outside. I'm talking about the day after. I had taken heroin the day before, after a gram a day habit for this period of time. And I was freed from the withdrawal. I had a backpack. I was ready to go hiking in the mountains. This place was beautiful. They had banana trees outside. They had a swimming pool and a hot tub, a masseuse on property, and man, I just thought I had it made. But I would later learn at the healing place that I am restless, irritable, and discontent by nature. So that's the nature of my disease. I wake up restless, irritable, and discontent every day. And I was restless, irritable, discontent around a hot tub and a swimming pool in the beautiful mountains with banana trees, and this place was just gorgeous. And I flew back to the United States and to Louisville, Kentucky. My grandmother paid for my plane ticket. I went back to Louisville, Kentucky, and I would, of course, again start heavy drinking and using heroin even further for the next 3 to 4 months after that, until finally my parents, my mother, my father, everybody's kind of like, I love you, I just don't like you. I'm not helping you no more. I'm not paying another bill. When I went to the healing place, it's a 100% abstinence-based program and a non-medical detox. So, you know, you go in and this place, the inside of it's these concrete block walls, and there's 25 beds in there. And you know, they're separated by these little concrete walls, and there was no medicine to take or anything like that. There was plenty of food and plenty to drink, and you just lay in the bed and sweat it out. Now, I thought it was the end of my life. I didn't know what was going to happen. I just knew that what I was doing wasn't going to work. So I did what they said. Very important. I got a sponsor. Love my sponsor. I started going to meetings, and I lived at that homeless shelter there, recovery program, for about a year. And I ended up working there. And they taught me to believe in something more powerful than myself. So I did the step work, and it started to adjust my thinking. And this place was a behavioral modification program where if you do something wrong, if you're late to your job, if you mouth off to somebody the wrong way, you have to go sit in a circle of 90 people and hold your hand up and admit you did it. And it's an accountability circle. And they taught me how to hold myself accountable for my actions before I face the consequences. And when I have trouble doing that, I can then call my sponsor and he'll tell me what to do. There's nothing better than showing someone else how to do it, having another man or stand there and say, I want what you have, will you show me how to get there? People find their own recovery, they find their own way, but whenever they look out and they see someone else that's just like, and I don't hold anything back. When I'm on my page or on my website, I'm gonna tell you I'm a hardcore crack smoker, Xanax popper, heroin junkie, $2 crack smoker. I'm gonna tell you all that. I'm gonna keep it real, and I'll say it in public, on Facebook, whatever. And when they hear that, they tend to say, okay, this guy understands me. It says in our literature that we read in the fellowships that one addict or alcoholic helping another is the best way because they can relate. And I think that's what it is. These people, they are all inspiring to me. I just love them. I love watching them progress. And when they turn around and say you were an inspiration or something, I think what they're really saying is their way of saying thank you because I can relate to you. And they're just looking and saying, if this junkie can do it, I can do it. And that's just the best feeling. And I hope it's really working for them.
What's up, everybody? James Sweasy here. Real quick, I'm down here in Woodford, Kentucky with Raising Awareness Woodford Raw, and I walked up to the little concession area, and the guy was kind of dressed like a bartender, and he said, what can I get you to drink? Then my mind started thinking about, what's the last time I had a beer?
Mr. Sweasy?
Huh?
Sir, how much you had to drink today?
What day is it?
Mr. Sweasy, sir, I'm going to ask you to step out of the car.
Hold up, man. Listen.
Are you all right? Mr. Sweasy!
Huh?
Mr. Sweasy, when's the last time you had some sleep?
Just now.
Mr. Sweasy, I'm going to have to ask you to come on and step out of the car for me, sir.
All right.
Mr. Sweasy, I'm going to ask you to turn around and put your hands behind your back for me, sir.
What if I don't?
Sir, I'm just going to have to ask you to turn around for me, okay?
Blink 'em! But hey, y'all, in all seriousness, we're out here having fun in Woodford County. I got my man Andrew right here.
Yo, how's it going?
Yep, big shout out to Officer Melton right here.
How are you, officer?
Yeah, we ain't afraid of the police today, baby. You know what I'm saying? You're doing the right thing. We're living right. James Sweasy, I'm out.
Hey, Sweasy, thank you so much for spending time with us. Keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing. James Sweasy Live. Recovery Radio with Blake Cohen. He's really making a difference in the advocacy, making a difference in fighting stigma and sharing information, education, and awareness with other people. You can catch him, James Sweasy Live, on social media, on Recovery Radio FM. I'm so grateful to have you in my life, Sweasy. Thank you so much. On the road to recovery from Louisville, Kentucky, I'm Michael DeLeon, and we'll see you on the next episode.